If you were rich, what extremely petty thing would you do just to pee off people? Buy up every $1 coin of the most obscure president I can find, then bribe people obnoxiously. Would a couple of Millard Fillmores change your mind? Upon meeting new people, I would take my glove off to show respect before I shook their hand, only to reveal yet another glove to shake their peasant hand with. I would pay actors to pretend to be civilians and follow me while I do mundane things. Upon encountering rude people, I would cause a scene with the help of my employees to really annoy them. Have each actor tell them this isn't real, wake up, track them and keep doing it with multiple different people until they crack. Bonus points if after the actor says their line they just pretend like they didn't say it. I'd make lengthy YouTube ads flaunting all my fancy crap while telling you that I'm going to tell you how I did it but never actually doing that. Looking at you, Tay Lopez. Here in my garage. I would hire 4 ripped dudes to carry me around in a palanquin. I'm almost positive I wouldn't be breaking any laws. People on the subway may not be happy about it though. Design an underwater breathing apparatus for ostriches. Then, strap on a scuba suit myself. Ride it into the water close to a private beach where no one can see. Migrate underwater to the busy part of the beach and come storming out of depths on my aqua ostrich. Run around for a while then go tranching back in the water. This is my favorite one. Buy an ungodly amount of Kit Kats, fill a backpack with them, and go along public walkways eating them without breaking them apart first. Freaking monster. I'd be incredibly nice and generous to the point where you feel you could never actually pay me back for all the things I've offered you that you can't help but get resentful. I'll just have to make something really sentimental for you instead. Find out what brand of clothes the douche kids in my local high school were wearing, and buy tons of them, and donate them to the local homeless shelter. That would be so satisfying. When my uncle became a stay-at-home dad, people thought he was leeching off of my aunt and living like a rich white boy, their words. So, he started saying crap just to screw with them. If they asked him, "Oh, what did you do today?" he'd say, "Well, I got up by noon. Isn't that great?" It made everyone so mad, but there was nothing they could do. So if it were me, I'd make little comments just to pee people off. See, that's not really an butthole thing to do since they were asking for it. Good on him. I have always wanted to do this. Have a big, beautiful house. Keep it absolutely pristine and clean. Then invite people over and say, "Sorry about the mess. It's a disaster here." Good one. Say something to the tune of, "My housekeeper only comes every other day now. It's been really hard on us." Spend excessive amounts of time submitting loads of realistic resumes to companies that use resume buzzword filtering to waste their time. Then give people jobs doing this for me. I would do this as a career. 1. Get some stupid expensive car. 2. Bumper sticker, honk if you have a tiny dong. 3. Cut off other cars. This is some Archer crap. LOL. I often fantasize about winning the lottery and then getting jobs at crappy places. I would wait for the boss to act like an butthole, as bosses do. Then I would tear them a new one, tell them what everyone is afraid to say to them, and then go home. Or just buy the establishment and fire the boss. If I saw someone looking at something on the shelf in a shop, then I'd very politely squeeze in and take all of the stock of said item for myself before they could. Maybe multiple times in a row to the same person if I was feeling especially petty. Also very aggressively play supermarket sweep. I would employ a group of 50 or so people to find my brothers and walk slowly in front of them for the rest of their lives. Make them attractive men wearing tight shorts who occasionally say things like, "That guy's keeps staring at our butts." Creep and give him dirty looks. Unless he's gay, then make it women. I'd buy all the plates at fancy political fundraising events and bus in droves of homeless people to eat. I'd be sure to displace all the other rich people who usually like to suck up and buy off politicians. WTF is the politician gonna have to say about it? Think they've got the balls to complain about altruism like that? You'd end up attaining an army of homeless followers. If you're known for this, people will take advantage. Maybe you can invade Canada or something. I'd buy a small town on a busy highway and make the speed limit be 27 miles per hour. strictly enforced, while the rest of the highway was 45. If I was a millionaire, I'd keep a stack of Benjamins in my wallet at all times for the sole purpose of paying people to stop talking. Whenever someone says something that annoys me, I'll whip out a crisp new bill, hand it to them, and casually retort, if I pay you $100, will you shut the frick up? One of my primary life goals is actually this. $1 million would allow you to do that 28x day for a year. Find a pitch for a TV show that has great potential. Hire great writers, get the perfect cast, order 13 episodes, then air only 6, out of order and in a terrible time slot, and then cancel the show. I don't know if people are getting your reference. Reddit does love its Firefly. Go into fancy restaurants, order a $300 shot of whiskey over Diet Cherry Coke, add a packet of Splendor, 1/8 ounces Kobe fillet, cooked well done, with a bottle of ketchup and A1. With each word my hatred for you grew. Well done. Buy an exotic car, then deliver pizzas in it, and have no shame putting the store sign on my roof, and when people ask, complain about times being rough. Buy Valve, bring back Half-Life 3, hype the crap out of it for years without giving any detailed explanations, make a bunch of fake high-end footage and whatnot, and then when the hype is at its peak, I release the Half-Life 3 mobile card game. I'm pretty sure this might be a war crime. Glitter bombs everywhere. If I hated someone, I would buy the house next door and let some really awful people live there for free, or charge them $1 a month. Why? Because frick you, that's why. I'd still wait tables, and when someone was rude, and I'm not talking had a rough day rude, but someone who specifically seems to know how it works to get free stuff rude, I'd stop and ask them what their problem was. I'd be kind and explain plainly and calmly why what they were doing was crappy, and ask what the real issue was. I'd listen if they were willing to talk, and then, when they'd inevitably turn into the petty shrew they are anyway, and pull out the "you just lost a customer," I'd get petty, turn to the dining room, and announce their transgressions with an apology and an offer for a free drink dessert to the entire dining room on me for the interruption to publicly shame this a shat. And I'd buy every single person there a drink dessert so that fricking child of an adult would feel the shame of fricking with people that can't frick back. I've thought about something similar, retail, but then I'd ask them where they work, proceed to either buy the company or convince their superiors to fire said person for being an ashat, then tell them I own the place and they are being disruptive and kick them out. I'd buy a freaking Aventador and put it up on blocks in my front yard in the Pacific Northwest. I'd observe the rust forming over the years. I would decline every offer to buy it off me until it's just a worthless lump of soggy rust. Then I'll have a son, and he can inherit my garbage problem. I'll raise him to believe the world ripped him off and everyone owes him something. I'll leave him just enough money that he'll be the most irritating man in the world. His entire world will be magenta and cyan and dubstep and evangelism and I guess maybe professional wrestling? Buy Super Bowl commercial time and air a video of me eating chicken wings with no explanation. Idea from my old platoon sergeant. I would file for building extensions that need community consent but not actually go through with it, like installing a helipad or something. Buy an incredibly large plot of land close to the nearest university campus. Flatten it into a large parking lot and charge $20 student passes for the semester. But if you cannot show that you are a student, parking fees will be $200 a day, and strict tow away at owner's expense policy. Park my car there every day and say hello to all the students and anyone else parking, ensure they are promptly towed away. $20 would be a steal at the university I went to. I'd go to my old workplaces and pay the people working there to leave for a bunch of money to live on instead, just to frick over the companies that were crap to people. Buy all the tickets available for the rival hockey team, then rent a bunch of buses and let fans from my city go to the other city for free, or bring a big name singer to the city and only release one ticket for sale. Buy 2/3 of all the concert tickets so the show still has energy from a crowd but way more chill atmosphere. I guess I would be off 2/3 of the people and making 1/3 super happy. A man once was so petty he bought every freaking seat in a movie theater showing to prove to his ex-girlfriend he could buy more than one seat. When they were together, they could only afford a single seat. I'd like to buy out a commercial airline flight, except for maybe 2 seats. Then I could wander around like I owned the plane, and the one other couple on the flight would be like, who is this freak? I would go to my old Hoa neighborhood, buy exactly 51% of the houses, and rent them dirt cheap to impoverished minorities and immigrants, making sure they had governing power of the Hoa and make the rest of the remaining homeowners lose their shirts on plummeting real estate values. Cheat on my taxes, the other way around though, by paying too much. Then I would call in anonymously and I'd have them audit me every year. There is an actual penalty for overpayment. Pay every parking meter I walked by that had someone parked at it. There's a few local parking maids that get off on giving as many parking tickets as humanly possible. My friend's dad has 3 Rolexes, one for wedding, one for gardening and one for normal use. He has never used the first 2. Buy people's crappy looking cars like the ones from our shitty Carmads with the sole purpose of returning them to the normal, non-horrible looks and performance. De-pimp my ride. I always wanted to buy a crazy expensive nice car, Lamborghini, Ferrari, etc. Cruise around town and pull into areas where they offer valet parking. Watch the dudes run up to me for a chance to drive it, then just speed off. Buy a Ferrari, a 488, brand new. Use it like someone uses their Honda Civic, drive it to work. Drive it to the tip with as much rubbish in it as I can get in, drive it in winter, drive it to the shops, generally just mooch about in it, service it whenever, wash it once, maybe twice a year but only in a drive-through car wash, don't get bothered about bird crap stains, etc etc. And people might tell me off for it, I hope they do, and then, I say come round, see my other collection of cars. And amongst the BMW M cars, the other Ferrari, an array of incredible superbikes, is, on a plinth, restored to pristine showroom condition, is the car I currently have, a grey 2005 model, UK domestic market Honda Civic 1.6i Sport VTEC, driven on only the nicest of days, serviced regularly, cleaned and lovingly looked after. That's my I'm freaking rich and there isn't a dang thing you can do about it dream. My neighbors really don't like it when anyone else parks outside their house in their parking space when it's a public road and anyone can park there if they wish. They will come round and tell you to move your car. I know of someone whose tires were punctured after parking outside this house. What I'd do is this. 1. Move house. Somewhere nice. Away from them. 2. Buy 2 crappy cars. 3. Wait until they're not in, move the traffic cones they use to keep their space free and park crappy car 1 there and then leave it there. 4. I'd periodically come back to move the car, just a little bit, roll it forward a foot, roll it back 2 feet, turn it round so it's facing the other way, swap for crappy car 2. All of this is done in the middle of the night so they never see who's doing it and can never again park outside their house. 5. For added bonus fun, I'd buy the house opposite theirs and set up CCTV so that if when they decide to puncture the tires or scratch the paint, I've got it on video and can get them done for criminal damage. I'd hire Kit Harington and Sophie Turner to do a scene in full costume in a recreated set of Winterfell that would make John C. canon, and put that onto our Free Folk as a season 8 leak under an alt account. If any more words come pouring out of your sea mouth, I'm gonna have to eat every freaking chicken in here. When I'd go to a restaurant and see someone being rude to staff, I will publicly offer to pay for everyone's meal except for that person. Even though it would only pee off that one person, it would be incredibly satisfying and make others happy with a free meal. Plus I'd make sure to give great tips to all the employees. I'd do this, but I'd leave before they brought the check. Boom. Pee off everyone. I hate when investor relations reps don't return my emails, so I'd buy a large enough share of the company to fire the IR rep if they don't return my email. Find a homeless person, pay him £5,000 for his clothes, dress in them and go to buy a Mercedes or big BMW. If they turn me away, go and suit up and buy a brand new Aston Martin, then have it delivered to the showroom that turned me away for collection, making sure to wear the homeless guy's clothes as I take the keys. Buddy's old boss sorta did this. He's a tradesman and showed up to the Mercedes dealer ready to buy one Friday after work, but they wouldn't let him test drive anything and blew him off. So he went across the street and bought a different car, paid cash, drove back across the street and flipped off the Mercedes salesman. Frickin' legend. Buy an expensive piece of land and develop it myself. Rent out half the condos to other wealthy people. Fill the other half with ducks. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.